This is David Braun, and this is video number 7, and it's entitled Reaching Opinions and Conclusions After You Have Run the Analysis. Now, in the last video, video 6, you saw us run some data, and this is the data that was actual data, and these are the results. Now, the total solution, instead of using only 1 year, this is 1 year here, it uses 2 years, eight quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't do any semesters where it puts 2 quarters together. We think that's a little bit confusing. So the total solution added up that there were 7 sales, then 8 sales, then 4 sales, then 4 sales. Now, also the total solution has tried to give us some advice on whether that is stable, increasing, or declining. 7, 8, 4, and 4, I would agree that's declining. So these indications here have to do with the first year. Now in the second year, it went 3, 7, 2, 2, and it said also it's declining. So this market has been declining in activity for 2 years. Activity is pretty important. Okay, so we've got an issue here with activity. The absorption rate, or the number of sales, this is mathematically related to the number of sales. So your absorption rates, if it's declining here, it's probably going to be declining there. And if it's declining here, it's declining here. So basically it's saying that the market was actually taking off 2.3 houses a quarter here, then 2.7, but we can see both as declining. These two are very related to one another, so we can see right now that that is not a good thing. Okay? Now the total number of comparable active listings. You want some listings, but you don't want too many. So it went 11, 7, 10, and 9. And the computer says, well, I think that's pretty stable. Then it went 12, 12, 7, and 3. That's declining. Now, having less sales can make stronger values. We still want some listings, but this is a good thing then, because we look at our housing supply, and there were 5 months, then 2 months, then 7.7, and basically the housing supply was going up, which is not a good thing if it's kind of a weak market in general. The economy is generally weak. All of a sudden, we're getting more and more housing supply built up, which is going to make it a buyer's market and going to push prices down. Now, in the last year, it went 12, 5, 11, and 4. So actually the housing supply declined. So this is good. So we have bad activity, but we have good on housing supplies getting better. What's happening to our prices? 175, these are actually sales prices. 179, 186. Actually, prices were, to me, that's increasing. This says stable. So I might disagree with that. 175, 186, 193. I'm going to look into that because I don't like the way that calculated. But now let's look at this. 194, 174, 183, 166. It kind of looks at these two averages and compares them to these averages, putting heavyweight here. And it felt like it was stable. Now let's talk about something a minute. We have some control over this, over how the computer looks at these stables and makes these decisions. We go back to setup, and we're going to go to set the declining, stable, and increasing tolerances here. Sales and list price, if they change by 10%, let's change that to 7%. Maybe we think they're not changing enough. All other trends are at 15%. And if we wanted to change it, if we forgot, we could reset that, but let's leave it at 7. And now let's go back to our worksheet, and let's see here on our sales prices. Still shows stable and stable. Now the median list price, 186, 181, 179. We were up here looking at sales prices early. Here we go, 170, 79, 86. Now it's showing them to be increasing because we changed our ratio, 194. 174, 183, 166. The same way you look at those averages, you got some up and downs. I tend to find I don't want them to change too quick. Median sales days on market, 39, 103. Actually, this would be great in theory, but I don't believe the days in market in my MLS. So almost no matter what that shows me, I don't care about it because I believe that's garbage in, garbage out. It's a required field. But when I reconcile these, I'm going to actually, in my mind, give this no weight at all. The days on market for me. Now, in your market, that might be different. You can trust it. Median comparable list price, 186, 189, 171. Those are all pretty stable. They're staying right in there. 174. These are very stable. Median listing days on market. And again, I don't trust those in my market. They're useless. So again, when you start thinking of these things, it's just like using sales. You give some more weight than others. Anything days on market, I'm not really going to give it any weight in my mind as a professional appraiser because I know that data is not right. Median sales to list price. Do we see a trend consistent? Pretty consistent. And REOs, it's not showing any. I look at price trends. I actually see that sales price per square foot is going down. I like sales price per property has been dropping. And it also shows a decrease in sales price per square foot. Now, I like this better if you have it. There are a bunch of you that don't have this information. You don't have square footage. So I'm going to, in a future version, have a little button over here to close this. You don't want it if you can't use it. Now, what about volume trends? Here we are, up and down. Basically, I'm interested in the red number of sales. Basically, the market slowing down. Housing supply, it went up, but it got better here very recently. So what does that mean to us then when we get over and answer these questions? So basically, explain in detail sellers' concessions. I didn't have a good way to do that in my market. You may have had this has that as an optional field. The Total Solution does. So if you have it in your market, you would have filled it out and you would have had some help over there. Foreclosures could be filled out, but really this is the meat and the potatoes. And don't worry about these little lines being so little. These are expandable. This is an expandable form. If you want to put some stuff in there and type a whole bunch, it'll get as big as you want. So this is where you would summarize what your conclusions are. And I think in this situation, the market is weak and prices are going down. So this is probably a declining market. So that's basically what you look at. Look at the trends. Look at what's important to you. Reconcile them out. This market is in heavy stress, and I would call this a declining market. So that's the way that you interpret the information that has been provided to you by the Total Solution. Hopefully this will be of help to you. Feel free to contact me. This is the end of the series on this. Feel free to contact me should you have some input, and because I'd like to have some more opinions. This is the two parts the appraiser does. One, gets the data together, let the Total Solution organize it and make it information for you. Then you make the final call on that market, and you enter it into the report. Thank you.